Alright, what's up guys? So back in March, as most of you will know if you've been following the vlogs, I went to Florence with my friend Lewis, and then afterwards we went to Barcelona, which you'll see in the next load of vlogs. So I want to just basically go through today's vlog because I didn't film much of it due to the stress. So basically it started off about 7 AM. We started packing up, getting dressed, getting ready, ready for checkout at I think 10 or 12ish. So once we were packed up, we decided to go for breakfast and then hit the road. So we then went to the train station after leaving the hotel, and we decided to head to Pisa because that was obviously where we were going to catch the flight, and we wanted to obviously look around as well and go to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. When we got there, we were hassled by someone who was, I assume, homeless, asking for change and then waiting for the change to come out of the ticket machine, which I was like, no, sorry, that's like my only change for today, like I need that. So she left us alone after that, and Lewis cleverly decided he would lose his key to his padlock for his suitcase on the last day. So we decided to look around the shops at the railway station to see if they had any more. They didn't. So we went to the baggage and they didn't, but they suggested to go to the police because they obviously have bolt cutters, etc. And they were able to successfully take it off. But they then decided to scan our passports just in case Lewis was lying about it, despite his passport being in the locked compartment. Like, where's the logic there? So once we got into Pisa, which only took about a couple of hours I think, we then decided just to go straight to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So it was about, I think, a 40-minute walk or so from the train station, which wasn't too bad. We just made it to Pisa train station, and now we're gonna go see if we can go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, see what's happening there, have a look around, see if there's any nice shops we can go in, probably buy something, then we'll head to the airport. We don't catch our flight until 7 o'clock, so we've still got quite a lot of time to waste really, because it's only about 2 o'clock now, isn't it? We've just gone to. Once we got there, we found this ice cream truck just before you get to the main part of the tourist attraction. So we got some ice cream, some gelato. That was really, really nice. I think I had a strawberry one and Lewis had like a milk-based one. Pisa, and I'm having a fragola gelato. What you got?
Something I forgot how to pronounce.
It's like a milky chocolate type thing, isn't it?
It's like milk, milk-based.
Milk-based?
Just milk-based.
So you don't have any cream in it, just
No,
milk?
it's like a milk-based ice cream with pieces of chocolate in it.
Nice, sounds good.
It's chocolate chip, except it just doesn't taste cookie-ish.
Yeah, this ice cream is really nice, and then I've also got orange soda. And then Lewis decided he would spill my orange soda by accident. Yeah, so I didn't get to have that really. After we'd finished our gelato, we went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa and took typical photographs, you know, of like holding it up and all that. Once we'd finished, we thought, okay, we'll head back. It was about 4 o'clock, so we'd start to walk back to the airport because obviously it was a 40-minute walk, and our flight was meant to be at 7 o'clock or so, I thought. More on that later. So as we were leaving, there was this like street artist type thing who uses spray paints and objects to create a really, really cool piece of artwork. And he was basically saying, what's your favourite colour? And like, I'll do a drawing for you and show you how it all works. So it's like, okay, cool, that's fine. I've got a little bit of time to spare. So he does it, and then he's like, oh, I'll do your deal for 20 euros. I'm like, I can't really take it home because like I've got barely any money on me and it's too big anyway and I don't want to squish it. So he's like, no, that's fine. it can roll up. I'm like, yeah, but still, look, I gotta go. And then as we were leaving him, some guy come up to us trying to sell fake Rolexes. I'm like, look, I have not got the time for this. So after we got away from all of them, we made it back to the train station, and then I think it was only like a 10-minute walk from the train station to the airport. So as we got to the airport, I think it was about 5 o'clock, something like that. So I thought, okay, plenty of time, 2 hours. I couldn't find the check-in desk. There wasn't any signs saying check-in or whatever. I was totally confused at the layout. So I went up to the help desk and said, look, I've got a flight at 7 o'clock back to the UK. Where do I need to go? And she's like, oh, you've missed it. I'm like, sorry, but that's at 7 o'clock. It's 5 now. And she said, no, you've missed it. It's at 6 o'clock. I'm like, no, you're kidding me, ain't you? So she asked for the paperwork, and at this point she seems really angry because I don't understand. So I get out my paperwork, and yeah, it said 6 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my god. This was not what I planned for. So I'm like, what do I do? So she says, go down to the desk where they sell the tickets and see if you can swap it out for another one. So okay, we go down there, and then she says that she can't exchange it and it'll be €100, but initially I heard £100. So I'm thinking, well, I don't have that in my account until payday, which is literally 2 days later. I'm thinking, okay, I've got to call people. So she says, you've got 1 hour, you've got until 7 o'clock to get a new ticket. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm ringing my mum saying, can you help? And she says, yeah. Then my mum offered to use her credit card to pay for. So I asked the woman on the counter if I could use my mum's credit card, and she's like, no, because the person has to be here. I'm like, okay. And then she starts flicking through her rule book thinking, okay, can I do it or not? And by the time that she found this rule saying, okay, yeah, you can use it, the other woman said you can just pay in euros. So I'm like, okay, cool, I've got €100, I'll pay it. So we both pay it. But the flight isn't until 9 AM the next day. So we had from 7 PM on the day before our flight was due to leave until 9 AM the next day, which was dreadful. So after that, we then went back to where we were sitting and just sort of rung people up saying, okay, we've got a ticket, we're all good. After that, we then decided we would go to get something to eat because we were both really hungry at this point because we hadn't eaten much all day. We found out that the restaurants were on the top floor, so we went up there and there was this really nice little restaurant. There was only about one person in there, but we went in and I think I had spaghetti bolognese. I think Lewis did as well, if I remember rightly. But we then done like a virtual collaboration with Paola, and she gave us keywords that we would need to use in an airport or at a restaurant, which was really good. We definitely needed some of them, and they did work, so that was good.
I've now got vinegar on the shirt sleeve.
Have you?
Go to Ellie Crew, Lee Explores Crew, Lee's Crew.
Le Crew.
Le Crew.
Grazie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. So we got tickets to fly back to Stansted in the morning at about 7 o'clock. We'll arrive at 9 and then we'll check into Premier in about maybe 11 or so. We'll probably go around London, have a little bit of look around in the shops.
Maybe go to the cinema.
Yeah, maybe go to the cinema.
Or Constel Island.
Yeah,
and I'll do a segment on Lee Explores where I review it for you because I am awesome.
And then we go to Barcelona on the 11th. So we fly out, I think, about
Unless
half 12, which hopefully we don't miss our flight on this one as well because that'll be really costly and I can't afford that.
No, I'll just go.
Yeah, Lewis will probably just go home if that happens. So
I have the least amount of patience.
But yeah, we then decided we wanted some dinner because it's now 8:30. So we've come upstairs in the airport and look at this. Yeah, spaghetti alla ragu. And of course,
Parmesan.
you gotta have the Parmesan. Sprinkle that all over. Food porn right here. Got the fresh bread going. Yeah.
Oh, it smells lovely.
It does actually. So I'm doing this sort of like virtual collab. Oh my, why is that not virtual collaboration with with Paola. I'll put a link to her channel in the description box below. Basically, we're gonna chat through Snapchat, and she's gonna tell me translations for words or sentences from English to Italian, just because I don't know what the hell anyone's speaking around here apart from Spanish.
Hello.
So I've just asked, how do you say I would like the dessert menu, please? Because obviously we've finished our main course and we want to have a look at what desserts they got. So the translation is, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, posso vedere il menu dei dolci? Posso vedere il menu di dolci?
Di dolci ci abbiamo solo la Macedonia e cantuccini e pizzati. C'è questo e Macedonia.
Grazie. Che cosa frutta?
C'è kiwi, ananas, mela e melone.
Si prego.
Ok?
Grazie.
Una?
Why not? It's the last day.
What you got?
Fruit salad.
Fruit salad, boy. I've just asked Paola on Snapchat useful phrases and words that we can say in an airport in Italy. So she's just sent these videos through. I'm not sure if they're what they are, but we'll open them and find out.
Quick Italian lesson in one day at the airport. Ha preparato lei la valigia? That means, did you pack the bag yourself? Ci sono dei liquidi nella valigia? Are there any liquids in your luggage? Oggetti appuntiti quali forbici? Any sharp objects like scissors?
So those were some very key things that you might hear at the airport in Italy. So I've just asked how you asked for the bill in Italian.
The Italian word for bill.
Below probably.
Everything in Italian that's similar to English just seems to have like sort of like an O at the end, or yeah, like vegetarian and vegan. You got vegetariano and vegano. If I'm pronouncing that right.
Alright, so I've just now got a reply from Paola, and it's a video message, so we'll see what the translation is.
Posso avere il conto per favore? Or you could just say il conto per favore.
Il conto per favore.
And if you want to sound like a local, mi fai il conto?
Vi fai in conto? The waitress actually understood us, which was a miracle. The funniest bit that I found was that I asked for the dessert menu and she started speaking in Italian what was on the dessert menu, and then she realised, oh hang on, these people are English, they ain't gonna understand what I'm saying. So she brought over the menu after I asked in Italian for the menu, and she pointed out items on the dessert menu. So I look at the items and I think, well actually I don't want any of these, but Lewis has a little look at it and thinks that he'll have the fruit salad. So he asks what's in the fruit salad, and she replies everything in Italian, and he's just like, okay. Once that's happened, we pay and we then go to find a plug socket because our phones were drained to the red bar, you know, it was on like 10% or something. So we found this little area to the side of the airport at the top end. There's some of the vending machines, so I plugged it in. That was fine. We stayed there for about maybe a couple of hours or so until about 11 o'clock at night. I found the plug socket after searching around the whole of the airport, and there it is. So I managed to plug in my phone, so I'll probably also plug in my Mac and do maybe a bit of editing or something, because I've not done any of that in a while.
because obviously the internet's been really terrible in Florence, so it's just impossible, really. And we have a video from Paola, so let's open that up. I think I've got sound on.
C'è una presa per caricare il telefono.
And then this airport security come around and said, what you doing here? I'm like, I'm waiting for my flight in the morning. So he said, no, you've got to leave because the airport's closed. And I'm like, what, sorry? Airport closing? And it turns out that the airport closes at 11 and doesn't open again until 4 AM. And we didn't have any hotel booked, obviously, because we thought we would be back at home. So we had nowhere to go, and we were kicked out of an airport into the cold. Thankfully, there was this like tent type gazebo extension on the end of the restaurant, which we were allowed to go in, that had tables and chairs. That was fine. But the only problem was that they didn't turn on the heating and they didn't turn on the lights. So we were in the dark and it was freezing cold. I think there was about 3 other people and this homeless guy as well. Now, there was one point where a couple of them decided they'd move over to the other end of the tent near the homeless guy, and the homeless guy woke up and got a bit startled, I think, and he ran off. And then it gets to about 4 AM, and this is when the airport should have opened, but it didn't. Instead, I think it opened at about 5 or maybe 6 AM. So at about 4 AM, all these taxis and cars started arriving with people coming out and trying to go into the front entrance, but obviously the doors were locked. So I walk up to them and ask if they spoke English, and if not, I had a phrase already prepared in case they were Italian, so that was fine. Basically I said, look, we've got a tent over here, we're all in here, do you want to stay warm and safe? And then there was this group of about 30 Americans or so, and they were thankful for it as well. We invited them in, and we all just sat there waiting for the airport to open again. And this was quite frustrating, obviously. So come about 5 or 6 o'clock, we all got let in, and I think we just wandered about for a little bit, just sort of stretching our legs, because obviously we were sitting there for so many hours in the cold that we needed to warm up. We then decided to head to the check-in desks, and we noticed that some of the lights weren't on in the check-in area, and also the desks weren't manned, and that was really annoying. We decided that we'd sit down until the check-in desks opened, but I think I started to drift off, and once the check-in desks opened, there was obviously a load of people there. Managed to get checked in, went through security, all good, and then got on our flight. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe and turn on notifications for future posts, and drop a like if you like this video as well. Peace.